Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome to all of our friends from around the world. This is USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. KERBECK, and our show today is the Mallorca Connection. Our topic is trusting the process. Let's welcome the star of our show, Mr. Roland Friedl, and find out where in the world he is. Hello, Roland.
Hello, Dr. JACALYN. Great to see you again.
Nice to see you as well. And you just did a fabulous show. It's Your Healthy Lifestyle. Congratulations. And Dr. Steffenhammer was here talking about Juice Plus and all of its virtues. So I really just applaud you. You have friends and colleagues all over the world, Roland. Where is it that you are right now?
Right now, I'm in the middle of Europe, actually in the center of Europe. I'm in Austria. It's my home country where I've been born. Almost 59 years ago, very in the north, very close to the border of Czechoslovakia. So it's a short walk, I guess, a 10 minutes walk that I can cross to the border of Czechoslovakia. In a beautiful area, no town near. I'm in nature. I stand here. It's going to be my base during the summer months before I continue my traveling south to Italy.
That's fabulous, Roland. And during your travels, you've met a lot of really interesting people. And I know that people are experiencing different things depending on their situation, their culture, their health, etc. You seem to be positive almost all the time. I know a few times, maybe because of the travel, the weather, but you're pretty much even keeled. And I feel you're someone who is really a role model for others. How do you stay even keeled?
Yeah. Well, first of all, Dr. I'm not 24/7 happy. Okay, I'm not 24. This is impossible. And I also strongly believe that we reincarnated here on planet Earth, not to be happy. We are here to face challenges and to grow and to learn. That's first of all. So yeah, most of the time I'm positive because you know what? I learned that if something happens to me, and I'm also facing challenges, business-wise, private-wise, whatever. Fortunately, not health-wise, because I'm supplementing since over 30 years. But I face challenges. But what I learned is it doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't help me get out of this problem when I stay in a negative mode. It doesn't help me when I'm caught in this negative content loop. So of course, sometimes I'm kind of pissed off or I'm kind of distracted. Yes, but mostly very, very short. Very, very short, and then I'm totally focused on a solution, get a solution, and I trust the process. I trust the universe. But I'm not a superhuman being. It was a learning process, and everybody can do this.
I love what you just shared there. And Roland, I have a similar approach. I will allow myself to be upset, to feel the emotions, but I have a limit. So my limit is usually 10 or 15 minutes. I was going to say hours. Boy, that's a Freudian slip. 10 or 15 minutes at the most, an hour. And then I say to myself, okay, let's put it aside and let's focus on what is the solution.
Absolutely. The point is, I don't, but years ago, yes. But right now, I don't feel, no matter what happened, I don't feel as a victim. I always accept it. I take responsibility. And I guess it's taking responsibility. And being in the driver's seat and having control what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. It's never know what event is occurring. You never know what somebody is doing to you or telling you. The only control you have is how you react on it. Yeah? How you react on it. Of course, you have emotions. It's good. It's good to recognize them, to accept them. It's not about suppressing them. It's about accepting them. And then, okay, why? What triggers me? What exactly triggers me? And what can I learn from this trigger? That's what was my learning was, because sometimes, I've always been triggered by events or by people, and I was upset. And then I learned, no. There's a reason why I get triggered by this event, by this person. What is the learning out of it?
That's so important to realize what your triggers are, who your triggers are. And Roland, I feel like you and I are both pretty strong people, and even we have our challenges. And one thing I'd like to just talk about before we go into what is trusting the process is when you have a positive attitude and you start off the day in a good frame of mind, and then something doesn't go your way, okay, you deal with it. And maybe later on that day, something else doesn't go your way. By the time it's bedtime, maybe there's 4, 5, 6 things that haven't gone your way. And that's when I feel, for me, I start to feel a little overwhelmed. And then my mood starts to change. So do you have that same experience where if you have a multitude of things piling up, that then it does take a toll?
Yeah, the point is, when I focus on the negative events, and I put energy there, then more events occur, negative ones. It's always where you focus. But my life is also a roller coaster. As I said, business-wise, when you run your own business, it's not every month and every year that you gain money. It's to be honest, the last 3 years is very challenging for me, and I still have to deal with this challenge. It's going up slowly, but I have to deal with challenges, and privately too. Just got separated from a girlfriend. By the way, are engaged with a new one. So, but the point is, where goes your focus? Because where your focus is, your energy goes. And I have days where you said, oh wow, it's great. Then somebody negative comes in, and I said, oh wow, what the fuck is going on? But I immediately focus on the positive, because I know when my energy goes to this negative event, more negativity will come in. So I focus on not suppressing it. I acknowledge it, I deal with it, but I focus on a positive solution. That's what I do, because the rest doesn't make sense.
It's so important what you just mentioned. And money is a trigger for a lot of people, because we need money to do the things we need to do, especially as an entrepreneur. You just hit the nail on the head. We never know where the money's coming from or when the money's coming. So for people out there across the world, I talk to people all the time, and that's a trigger that really keeps people down, because once they find what they perceive to be as the solution and they implement that solution, something else comes along, and then they owe more money for something, or that they put more money out. So what are some of the things that you've been doing in this period of time to keep yourself focused on the solution and not the low energy of not having the money that you'd like to have?
Yeah, good question. As I mentioned before, I'm also facing challenges, money-wise too. Maybe because I'm not really a saver. So when I make good money, I also spend it and share it with other people. That's my attitude. And I just enjoy life. I'm not a person who says, okay, I will start living when I retire. No, I start living every single day, because I don't know when I have to leave this planet and hopefully not reincarnate again in this crazy world right now. Anyway, no. So when I'm facing financial challenges, of course I don't get stuck. It doesn't, because when you're in a duck state, when you're stuck, nothing is happening. Praying enough, I think praying is an option, but I don't think it's paying your bills. So what I do is, of course, is focusing on a solution. I always get a solution. Don't become a victim. And first of all, as I said before, take ownership. Take responsibility when you fucked it off, whatever happened. Even when a client didn't pay, why? What was my responsibility in this way? Okay, so how can I handle with that? So I focus on a solution. That's the first thing. Secondly is I put all my energy there, and I work with affirmation. So I think about the positive outcome, about reaching the goal. I'm not very focused on the process itself. Of course, I know what to do, but in my head, it's like when you coach sports people. What we do in mental coaching with sports people is that they think about it. I don't know. You're participating at the Olympic Games in swimming, for example. Yeah, and what we do is on a mental coaching. One of the parts of it is, okay, they just see already the picture when they stay on the podest. Number one, they hear the music, they hear the music of their country, they hear the people, they hear the crowd cheering, they feel it when they bend down the neck that some of the officials take over the gold medal. So it's all about being in the state like you already achieved it. And that's what I do. Thinking about, I'm already in the state how I achieved it, but then I also go for work. It's, of course, it needs action, but it's staying in the process and yeah, visualizing the desired outcome. That's very important, because most people, they work hard, yes, but they don't really believe it. They have doubts. And as soon as you have doubts, it's very, very hard to get the desired outcome.
So it sounds like what you're saying, visualization and perception and belief that you are able to accomplish this.
Yeah, it's absolutely important. And to be honest, this was for me years ago a very difficult part, because I said, okay, I understand it. Cognitive, I understand, I have to do it. But I still didn't believe it. I tried to have this picture, but I didn't believe it, because I didn't feel I'm not valuable enough. I don't deserve it. So I went to a coach and to get rid of these obstacles, meaning getting rid of this negative belief systems. I mean, you know my personal story. I had a very bad childhood, and I didn't recognize this trauma or realize it, but unconsciously, it didn't allow me to get the compensation for all the work done. And after I get rid of it, it was much easier for me. And one thing is the visualization of the desired outcome. Second is, of course, the action plan. And the next thing is trusting the process. I strongly believe, Dr. JACALYN, the universe only gives you tasks that you can handle. They may be challenging, of course, not always the easy way. They're challenging, but you can handle every task that the universe gives you. And when you have to deal with a task you can't handle, maybe you said hi, although you hadn't said to say hi.
Yes, I agree with what you're saying. I'd like to break it down just a little bit more for people who are out there thinking about their own situation. So you visualize yourself on the other side, you have the money, you have the accomplishments, yet your bills are still due. And you can't call up and say, hello, I can't pay for my mortgage, but I can see myself paying for it. I'm visualizing it is paid for. So what do people do in the interim when they're on the path, they're doing all the right things, but they have to pay the man?
Trusting the process. I give you an example. It was last year in April. You know, I have been living on this amazing island for 14 years. After my worldwide traveling, this was my home base. And then I decided I move into my motorhome. I have a large motorhome. And what was missing was a lot of solar panels and batteries. So I'd be absolutely self-sufficient. So I'm not depending on always plugging in the electricity on a camping site. I can stay in the wild and stuff like that. So, and I remember when I got this motorhome 5 years ago, I was thinking about the solar panels. I said, no, I just use it for a vacation. Why to spend such money? And at the time, what I wanted to have was about between $6,000 and $9,000. So last year, when I decided to move full time in the motorhome, I said, okay, I need it now. So I called. It was in March. My plan was, and I also did it, to move in April full time in the motor. So in March, I called all the good companies especially in Germany, who are specialized on solar panels. And everybody told me, sorry, not before November. Sorry, not before. We don't have any time. We're fully booked, because there was a huge trend after the pandemic. Many people didn't want to go to a hotel. They bought a motorhome. So everybody's on. So, and there was one company left, the best one. I don't want to promote it, but the best company. I didn't call them, but I thought it doesn't make any sense. So it was the last on my list. I called them, and this was the company who gave me the price $9,000 5 years ago, or at the time 4 years ago. So I called them because it was my last hope. And you know what? The secretary said, yes, come tomorrow. And I said, no, I cannot come tomorrow, but later. And he said, yeah, let's make an appointment. And then the owner, actually the wife of the owner called me back and said, sorry, it's a misunderstanding. You need a solar panel. This is November. We are booked out, November. And I told her my story. I said, I'm sorry, yeah, I understand it, but I move in 1 month full time in the motorhome. It's not just for fun. I move in. It's my home. It's my office. So she said to me, okay, call my daughter, Tanya. She's responsible. So I called her and I told her story again, and she said, you know what? When you can let us your motorhome for 2 weeks, we can work in between. So I called my best friend who lives close by. Can I stay in your house? I bring the motorhome there. So I went to this company, huge company, very luxury motorhomes. They're coming from all Europe. I got my coffee in the reception early morning, and then the senior boss came, and his team, he went to the roof of the motorhome and said, okay, we can do this and this. What do you need? This and this and this. And he said, okay, we do this and this. Go to my sister. She tells you the price. And to be honest, Dr. JACALYN, to make a long story short, I had it in my head. I knew that everything was more expensive after the pandemic. So I thought about maybe $16,000 when I'm happy, $19,000 when it's bad luck. Because I had 10,000 on my account left, and I had 7,000 in cash with me. So I thought, okay, it's fine. Oh, at the end, all my money's gone, so nothing left for gasoline, nothing left for food. But I want these solar panels. I need them. Okay, so I went in, and she said, yeah, I made a calculation, what my brother said. And I said, I was praying 16,000, not 19,000, 16,000, not 19,000, 16,000. And you know what she said? She said 29. She said 29,000.
Oh.
And I said, oh my God. She said, yeah, the prices are like crazy. 29,000. So this was far too much because I didn't have the money at all. So I was sitting there and I had to make the decision. I said, okay, sorry, I leave again. And I was driving 2,000 miles just for nothing, and no solar panels, no self-sufficiency. Or I do less and I'm not happy again, or what the fuck I'm doing. And I said, Tanya, to be very honest, I don't have the money, but I go for it. I go for it. And she told me, Roland, after 2 weeks, when you pick up your motorhome, you have to pay cash. And if you don't pay cash, no motorhome back. So I gave her the 7,000 money I have with me. I said, here are the 7,000. The 7,000. In 2 weeks, I pay the rest. And you know what? In this second, I made the decision that I go for it. I felt so good. I felt so good. It's always the self-doubt, should I not, and this insecurity. But once you made a decision, you feel good. And I felt good, but I still didn't have the money.
So wait, I want to peel back a few things there. So the first thing, thank you for being so honest and transparent. When you told her you did not have the money, how did you feel at that moment? Did you feel less than, or you just felt, I'm just going to go with the truth?
I said, of course, I'm always an honest person. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, of course we do it, and then I have a problem because I can't pay. So I told her, at the moment, I can give you 7,000. I have no fucking idea, but I will raise the money. There will be an opportunity. I have no idea right now, but let's do it. I trust the process. I trust the universe. And to be honest, I had some problems in my stomach. But when I said I do it, the decision process was really, but luckily it was very short. I had a very short, because a lot of people are waiting outside to get an appointment. So the decision process was hard, but it was short. But once I made the decision, I said, Tanya, yes, let's do it. I felt good. I felt good. I feel really
now,
good.
The same time that you felt good, a few minutes later, a day later, did you feel any stress knowing the clock was ticking and you had to find that money?
No, not at all. Because you know what? I went out of the office, out in the air to breathe, to get oxygen, to breathe, have a coffee and breathe. And you know what? I guess it was 30 or even less than 30 minutes. A client from the US called me and said to me, can you facilitate several workshops online for US and Canadian clients?
That is amazing. So that is truly an example of trusting the process.
So the business came in. The problem was this customer is paying in 90 days. So it starts in 2 months and then it's paying in 90 days. So the money comes in 5 months and not in 2 weeks.
So what did you do then?
So I knew I will have the money. I will have the money. So I called some friends, some rich friends. And you know what? Some of my best friends, even 38 years long friendship, they had so many excuses. I have to ask my wife. She doesn't want it. And they have millions. Nothing. And then I called my last chance, a friend of mine, actually a good friend, but we met 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and I called him. I told him a problem, and he said, Roland, normally I don't do it, but I trust you. And he gave me the money, and then when the customer paid me, I paid him back.
That's incredible. I love this story. So thank you to your friend who trusted you. And what about all the people that you've known for years who could have done this solid favor for you and they didn't? What do you feel about them?
Well, we're still friends, but I never will ask them again. And hopefully then they don't need me.
So in other words, you're saying that if they were to turn around and then come to you and say, hey, now I need some help, you would say, sorry.
No, I wouldn't say sorry. I would say, you know what? Do you remember this and this and this? But I'm a real friend. I help you. Give them a lesson.
Yes. So you said something earlier that I could really relate to. You mentioned that you're not, maybe you haven't been someone who is focused on waiting for that day when you retire and then you're going to start living. You've been living all along. You're living every day. Do you feel when you look back over your 50 some years of life that if you had been someone who was focused on saving and maybe waiting however many decades to start living, that the process would have been different?
Yeah, of course, but it was never me. You know, my father, he never spent money. He was always saving. And the rest of the family was suffering. Yeah. So this was, as a child, I said, no, I will never be, I don't know the English word for that. I don't give money away. So I said, no, I want to live. And I trust the process. And to be honest, well, I started my first business when I was 21. I made my first million on 21. And, you know, I never cared about spending. I always said, okay, as long as I work hard and I have a good idea, I'm creative, that I make money, I don't care about the spending. I was always spending, enjoying life, and inviting friends. And actually my two ex-wives, I guess maybe now they have a different opinion, but they had a hell of fun. I spent a hell of money on that. So we had a lot of fun. It was all about having fun and enjoying life. I also was donating money, of course. I always donated 10% of my income. Yes, it's about living, because you know what? Many people are saving money, and maybe when I retire, maybe, I don't know, maybe I have an accident before. I don't know. I want to live now. And if I need more money, okay, I have to work more. I have to work again and again. Why not? And to be honest, I had 3 times in my life where I was really down. Once a business partner fucked me. Secondly, and 2 times it was economic crisis. And the business was down. It was really bad. And I had really problems to buy food. But I'll tell you what, Dr. JACALYN, I was not unhappy. I had friends. I'm positive. I'm healthy. I still enjoying life. Okay, sometimes you sleep a little bit bad because you don't know how to get food tomorrow. But I was not unhappy. I was every day. Honestly, every day I wake up, the first thing is, I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful every morning. Hey, I wake up. Oh shit, I'm still alive. Oh, cool, I'm still alive. Some people don't get up in the morning because they pass away in the night. I'm still alive. I have no pain. I'm healthy. I'm in a wonderful environment. My dog is here and is waving her tail because she's so happy that I'm awake. The cat is here because she loves when I feed her in the morning. I'm so grateful in the morning, and I'm grateful in the evening when I go to bed. And I think that's very, very important, to be grateful. And it doesn't matter if you have money in the pocket or not. As long as you're healthy, you have friends, all is good. Trust the process.
Oh, that was beautiful, Roland. And you can see how happy you are. It shows on your face. And I just really appreciate what you shared and the fact that you're so transparent and always authentic. A question I have in terms of trusting the process is, when we gave the example, things are not going well and you're looking for solutions. So everybody out there has something on their plate and people are looking for solutions. So how do you know if you're not in your lane, or if it's the universe? So in other words, what I mean by that is, let's say you're in a job and you're really unhappy and you keep finding ways to make yourself happy while you're at work. You find the positives, you're grateful that you have the paycheck, but you're wondering, if there's something else out there for you and you're thinking that could be a solution, but if it were a solution, then wouldn't the universe steer you towards leaving your job?
Well, I strongly believe that everyone gets a chance or gets an opportunity. Most people don't see it because they're so distracted in their treadmill. Everybody gets a chance and an opportunity. I get them. I get many of them. Some I took, some I didn't. You know what? I don't know. Do you know Red Bull? This soft drink.
Yes.
Okay. When Didi Matischitz, the owner, he passed away a few months ago. I knew him personally, and he came to me through a friend. And when he started in 1992, they approached me in Vienna. We sit in an amazing villa, and he was looking for somebody when he started. When he brought this mixture from Asia, from Thailand to Europe, he started in Austria because he's Austrian, and he invested all his money he had as he was a top manager in the corporate world, and he was looking for somebody to distribute the product. He was looking for somebody who does restaurants, retail, and the other one was how to call these machines where you put in money and the drink comes out. This
sound machines, soda machines. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And so, okay, I'm looking for 3 person who does one does this, one does that. I was sitting there, and I said I do this, and then we had another. And I really had a plan, a strategy, and everything. And in the second meeting, he brought the drink. So I tried Red Bull, and I was like, "Fuck, what is this?" It is like, you know, this sweet. We have a, I don't know if you have in the US the Haribos, the sweet small bears. I said, who the fuck is drinking this? It's so sweet. You know, I don't like sweet stuff. And I didn't see a market because I didn't like the drink. And I got out of the business. I said, sorry, no. First of all, I didn't really believe it in the beginning. And secondly, I wrote the ingredients and I said, sorry, I don't want to sell this toxic shit to kids. I don't want to sell it. I get out of the business. You know, I lost millions. Because I didn't took the chance. But to be honest, I don't regret it. I can look in the mirror and say, okay, I didn't sell the shit. And a year later, actually 2 years later, in 1994, somebody approached me with the Juice Plus business, and I built up an international team and had a lot of fun on that. So sometimes I didn't take opportunities, sometimes I do. But I strongly believe people always get opportunities, but most of them say no, they don't see it. They don't see it. I told so many people, I shared with so many people this amazing business opportunity with Just Plus. Thousands said no. They had an opportunity. They didn't take it.
That is a very valid point, Roland. And I love that you were true to yourself, that you didn't believe that this other product was something that you wanted to be aligned with, regardless of how the brand took off or not. It doesn't matter. And
I still don't drink it because I don't like it.
Yeah, I've never had
it. And now we see that so many kids, there are kids passing away because they had 10 of this drinks. They died because of this drink. Yeah.
So I think that the really important takeaway of what you just said is sometimes we hold on to something because it's based on fear.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Based on our question of what if I let go of this thing, whether it's a sure thing or not. And what I found is it just happened today. I told you about something that happened. Something went and something came. And the thing that came out of nowhere. And now you and I've talked about it. We're going down a different path with that. So what would you say to people who are still doing the same thing in a rut, afraid to let go, and don't even know what trusting the process means?
Well, first of all, when you're always staying the same, doing the same, don't expect something different. Don't expect a different outcome. When you're always doing the same, don't expect a different outcome. It's never happening. It's never happening. So first of all, you have to be clear what you really want to have in life, what you really want to achieve, what your life looks like. You need, most people can tell you what they don't want. Only a few people can tell you what you really want. So just sitting down and say, what do you really want in life? What is it? And for me, number one is freedom. Freedom is number one. It's not about money or luxury stuff. Of course, it's nice to enjoy stuff. I had luxury cars and not luxury houses. But for me, number one is freedom, independence. This is number one. So whatever I did was thinking about, does this bring me closer to my freedom and independence? Yes or no? Some stuff that came to me was fun in the moment, was easy to do, but it didn't bring me closer. So I said, no. Some things, some stuff was really challenging, and I had no idea how to handle it. I had no idea how to succeed, but I knew if I succeed, then it brings me closer to my target, to my goal. So I said, okay, let's do it. I have no idea how to do it, but I want to do it. I will learn it. And that's the process. Be clear what you want, and then choose wisely what you take, what brings you closer to your goal, your desired outcome. It's not about what it's easy, it's about what brings you closer. And if you have no idea how to do it, don't care about it. Make a decision, say yes, and learn it. Learn it. There's no master is falling down from the sky. Learn it. It's always about the first step. Learn it. You get better. You take feedback. Maybe you fail. Stand up, take feedback, do it better. But go for it. That's the only advice I can give you. Move your fucking ass out of the sofa. Sorry.
Woo, there, you just gave it to us. I love it. But you're right. If you don't get off the sofa, if you don't get out of your house, your home, and you're just watching everybody else and seeing what they're doing, you're not going to be doing anything. And the other thing is, I hear this all the time. People have this entire list. Sometimes it gets longer and longer of excuses. And if they stopped going with the excuses and put themselves into action, who knows what can actually happen?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I want to come back to the strategy. Be very honest about my life. I went to university. I quit both studies because I said, no, it doesn't bring me closer to my desired outcome. My desired outcome is freedom, independency. Once I want to live on the most beautiful place in the world on a sea. That was always my plan. So I started a normal career, of course. And besides that, I always had my own businesses, because I want to learn what is good. I'm good in selling. I'm good in inventing or organizing. I want to find out my strengths in business, because I knew to become free, to get totally free and independent, I need my own business. I can never do this as an employee, because I'm always changing time against money. I only have 24 hours a day, so I cannot change more in because I make more. So this was the plan. So I was building up different businesses, but I also went into the corporate world. I was a salesperson. I was a sales manager. I was the youngest member of board of director of a company. I was not happy there, but I did it because I knew it brings me closer to my desired outcome. Because I knew if I want to be a successful businessman, I need a good network and contact. And in this position I reached in this corporate world, I have a wider network and better contacts. That's why I did it for 3.5 years. And then I quit and started with the other businesses, So there was always a plan behind, always a plan. And to be honest, not always easy, very challenging many times, but I said, okay, it brings me closer. And to be honest, there were several times I want to quit, several times. And I remember my first wife, she said, Roland, when you quit, what then? What then? Do you have another option? Do you have a plan B? I said, no. Okay, let's go. So it is very important that you have a clear goal. And the goal must be much larger than the obstacles in the way. Because you will have obstacles and challenges. But when the obstacles are larger than the goal, you don't see the goal, you give up. So your goal must really, really be big. And that keeps you. And then keep going, and trust the process. Trust the process, focus on it. And I always said, I made this this visual board. I made a board with houses on the beach and cars and stuff like that. And you know what? My first luxury penthouse looked the same. It was not the same building, but it looked the same with the same view than it was on my vision board. I was cutting it out from a magazine.
It's incredible. I do believe that the power of visualization. It's so true. And one thing that you shared, I think, makes a lot of sense, especially if you are someone who is in a relationship with someone, you have a spouse, you have children, you have people you live with. If you're going to make a major change that's going to impact the dynamics of the family or the financial status, you have to have a plan. Otherwise, if you want people to support you, they're going to be possibly coming from a position of vulnerability or fear. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do that anymore. We're not going to be able to go here anymore. And then it just adds more and more pressure. But when you have a plan and you have that level of confidence and that integrity, that belief in yourself, then other people will get on board as well.
Absolutely. I do coaching for people who wanna, they called wireless life rocks, who want to have a kind of my lifestyle. And I always say, when you're young and independent, no kids, no family, maybe you can still live with your parents, you have no any costs on renting or whatever. Go full in, go full risk, full in, work like crazy, full in. But when you already have a family, you have to pay, settle bills, you have kids, you have to feed the kids. Man, it's no problem when you're alone and you're starving because you cannot afford food because you're working on making money. But when you're responsible for your wife or your spouse, whatever, your kids, you have to do it part-time. If you have a plan, of course, go for it, but not on full risk. You have to make a fixed, safe income to settle your basement bills because you're responsible for your kids. Okay, but it doesn't mean to give up your plan. And to give an example, with my first wife, we had 3 kids, and I always said, okay, give me 5 years. Give me 5 years, meaning for 5 years, you take 100% care of the kids. I want to be at home. I have a full-time job, and besides them, I build up a business. I won't be at home. Even on the weekends, I will work, I will travel, but give me 5 years. It actually took me 2.5 years. And then at this time, I became financially independent. And then everything changed for my kids too. And they love the business because there's some difference. But you have to make a deal and then move your ass and work, because you promised it. Give me 5 years. So work like crazy. Go for it. But still, and trust, strongly believe, okay, it will work because I go. It will work. And always take feedback. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're really valid points. And one thing I just want to also offer out is I was in the corporate world for decades, and I'm very glad that I was, because I learned so many things that I wasn't even applying. I didn't even know how to apply the things that I learned or even my education. And now that I'm a business owner of 2 businesses, I'm pulling all these rabbits out of the hat, so to speak. And I feel like there's a certain amount of commitment you have to make. If you're not ready to put yourself all in for your business, it's probably not going to take off. So keep the corporate job and start off part-time, is what you're mentioning. Have that income so that you can take that other time to put it into the business and not have to worry about your bills. But when you have your own business, you are the business. You are living and breathing the business. You're the brand ambassador for your business until it takes off to a whole new level when you have a whole team of people. But at some point, you have to say to yourself, am I fully committed to this? Or is this just a hobby?
Absolutely. You know what? When you actually, first of all, the business in theory has to work. Meaning, is there a market? Yes or no? First of all, do the research. Secondly, is the timing perfect? Not too late or too early. I started a business many years ago. I lost a hell of money because I was 10 years too early in the market. Didn't work. Now it's a business, but I'm not in it. Yeah. So is there a market? Is the timing perfect? Is the concept good? Is the business good? That's the first. Everything is okay? When everything is okay, you can only make 2 mistakes: not starting or quitting too early. Most people quit when they're in the right field. They quit too early because it's not only a few businesses go like this. It takes time. Most people quit too early. And I remember I was reading a book by, oh my gosh, many years ago. It was written in 1920 or something like that, or 1928. It was called, I don't remember it. A very famous book. I will get it during the show. And this was a young person, and he went at this moment to the richest man in the world, who was the owner of the United Steel Company, and he asked him to apply for a job. And this person said, no, but what I want you to do something. I give you letters that every president, every business owner in the world opens the door, and I want you to find out what's their secret receipt of success. And this guy wrote this famous book. I don't remember right now. And the outcome was that most of the business owners quit too early. There was one story I will never forget. There was a guy in the US who bought, a piece of land to dig for gold. Yeah, he bought all these tools and was digging. Nothing came in, and he gave up. And he gave all the stuff back to the owner of the shop who sold all these tools. You know what? The owner of the shop continued digging, and after a month, he found the largest gold mine in the US.
That doesn't surprise me. I knew you were going to say something like that.
Can you imagine? But the story now. The guy who gave up learned a lesson. He founded the largest, how to call it, security company in the world. He started a new business and learned a lesson, not giving up. And he went very, very successful and very rich too. It's all about quit. Most people quit too early. Because, and the reason for that is when your goal is not large enough, there are obstacles, you quit. You always have to see your goal. And my goal was always living on the seaside, no matter what's coming in, living on the seaside. That's my goal. That's my goal. I don't give up. That's my dream. Because I knew it when I don't. Of course, it's easier not to work hard. It's easier to feel comfortable. Go out with friends, having drinks, watching TV or whatever you want to do. It's easy. But I wouldn't be happy for the rest of my life. Because I want to live on the fucking seaside. With or without TV set. That was my dream and my goal. And then I had it. It took some years, but then I was there and I said, wow, yeah. But it's about paying the price. It's not about doing it because you have just time or it's convenient or it's nothing on TV or your friends are occupied, nobody's going for a beer or a coffee with you. No, you pay the price because you have to do it. Be on duty, be responsible, and trust the process.
Absolutely. I know we're at the end of our show, but I just wanted to add one thing. When I decided to get my doctorate, that was while I was working full time. And working full time, I was entertaining clients. I had to travel because I was selling travel programs. And people would go to the bar and I'd be up till 2:00 in the morning, writing my paper, doing my homework. And then I'd have to get up the next day. And I did that for almost 7 years. And so I literally didn't have a social life for all that time. But I made that commitment because that was important to me. And I got a lot of grief from people saying, oh, you're no fun. You can't hang out. You can't. But I had a higher goal and I stuck to what my goal was. And that was what was important to me. And you shared what was important to you.
Absolutely. And it's not only in business. I was in a toxic relationship. It ended on, off. And one day I made a decision off. No, off. I want to be free. I want to be free. You have to close the door to open another one because there cannot come another partner into your life when you're still not 100% free. And it happened to me. Closed one door, and what happened? Bang, an amazing woman coming by. It's in every aspect. Dr. Give me another bit. I want to tell our audience another story. There's a book. I highly recommend the book. It's called The Secret. It's written by, I guess, an American lady. You know this book, a small book, The Secret?
Yes, I do know this book.
Yeah. I wrote this book, I don't remember, before I moved to Mallorca. It has been 18 years ago. No, not so far. Yeah, about 17, 18 years ago when it came out, I wrote this book. And you know what? Afterwards, I bought 20 of these books. And I gave it to free to different friends. Most of them didn't read it because there never came a feedback. Some said, I don't believe in this shit. You know what? Out of the 20, one guy, he was the owner of this. This was the place to be in the town I was living with my second wife before we moved to Mallorca. An amazing bar, cool waiters, cool music, amazing food. We became very good friends. He organized all my engagement breakfast. He organized my how to say, my wedding stuff. And we became very good friends. I gave him this book before. And because he told me, Roland, I'm very successful, but it's a hell of work, this bar, this restaurant. I want to sell it. And he said, but it's very difficult right now, especially in this village. It's not Vienna. It's not a metropole. It's a smaller village. It's very difficult. I want 1.5 million for this bar. Everyone tells me I'm crazy. And I gave him this book. I said, Roland, I read this book. I believe in you. I believe in the book. I was not the author. What shall I do? I said, do you strongly believe it's working? He said, yes, I'm working. Okay, visualize. So we went around the corner. There was a private bank, and we asked for one of these sponsor checks, these huge checks where you gave over as a symbol, you're donating money or whatever on a charity. So we asked for one of these huge sponsor check. He wrote 1500.000 for my bar. It was called M&M, and he was taking this check on the ceiling in his dormitory. Actually, he told me his girlfriend was really pissed off. It didn't look good. But it was the first he saw in the morning when he woke up, and it was the last thing before he fell asleep. And you know what? A crazy guy came 2 months later and paid him 1.5 million for this restaurant.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing story. It happens. We just have to believe, see ourselves doing it. And then I have to say this, there is no magic wand. It's hard work. It's determination. It's reaching out to people like yourself, Roland. You've given me a lot of great mentoring. I asked you a question today, a business question. You gave me a great answer. How can people work with you, and who would you like to contact you?
Well, yeah. Well, everybody can contact me who wants to make a shift in his or her life, a large one, a small one, a medium one, depending on you. The best way is to contact me on my website. It's my name, rolandfriedl.com. I will spell it for you. For those who are on a radio station or podcast, it's ROLANDFRIEDL.com, rolandfriedl.com. There is a German version and also an English version on the website, and there's a contact form. And the email address is office@rolandfriedl.com. You're more than welcome. Whatever you want to share, if you need advice, you're more than welcome. Maybe I can help you. I know that I can help you. The question is, are you ready?
There you go. Are you ready? Go over to LinkedIn and connect with Roland. Go to his website, rolandfriedl.com. Go to our YouTube channel, USA Global TV and Radio, and subscribe. We are very close to 100,000 views in 28 days. And I'm just so thrilled and happy that people are coming aboard for this journey, which we provide hope, inspiration, education, and entertainment.
Absolutely. I'm very happy to be part of this family.
We're thrilled to have you. Thank you so much, Roland. I'll see you again soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen. All the best.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much. We're coming right back with our next show, which is A Woman's Prerogative. And in case you haven't heard, we have 2 episodes of A Woman's Prerogative every Monday, one at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is also 8 p.m. British Summer Time, and 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is midnight British Summer Time. So thank you. Stay tuned, and I'll be right back with the ladies after this. Bye for now.